This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. I am excited to be here. This is also a bit of an experiment because I'm not, well, you know how things go. Technology is always an experiment, but thanks for joining. Long time no see. Hope you guys are well. I'm excited to play some songs for you and chat about songwriting and life and all this stuff. And I'm sorry about this watermark that's on here. I'm not really sure. I guess I'm in demo mode. So that's something. Just ignore that. We've got a live chat going here, so if you're tuning in live, you can check that out. And if you're not, you can still leave a comment. And yeah, so if you're tuning in, you can send questions if you have questions. And I'll answer those and yeah, play some songs. So this is always a little bit awkward to do these things. I'm just gonna make sure I have myself situated here so I can see any comments. I'm gonna start by playing a song that is new, kind of new.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Your innocence is inspiring. Your innocence is a lost art. You look at the world with such wonder in your eyes, and I've lost some of mine in time.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I let myself lose my happiness. I let myself get caught up in busyness. The simplicity of each moment that we have gets lost in all of my attentions. What do I have to lose by letting go a little bit of all of these conveniences? Worries that hold me down, meaningless anxieties, trapped by insecurities. Your innocence is giving me a chance. Your innocence is helping me come alive. Don't lose the joy so innate within yourself that you give with such a gracious heart. What do I have to lose by letting go a little bit of all of these conveniences? Worries that hold me down, meaningless anxieties, trapped by insecurities. What do I have to lose by letting go a little bit of all of these conveniences? Worries that hold me down, meaningless anxieties, trapped by insecurities. Your innocence is inspiring. Your innocence is a lost art. Cheers.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
All right, I'm gonna play another song and then we'll chat about some stuff. Sounds so official. I wrote this song this summer when I was camping on Salt Spring. So this was inspired by the beaches and the wildness of Salt Spring Island. I wait for a wave, your head beckoning me down a new path, the next leg of my journey. I wait for a sign, a sure thing guaranteed, before I leave behind the life I already grew. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, following peaks wherever it leads. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, maybe it's right in front of me. I'm walking blind, you are my guide. You've been down this road so many times. I know good things are up ahead, beyond the smoky skies, beyond the mess in my head. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, following peace wherever it leads. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, maybe it's right in front of me. I trust your ways, I trust your time. I'll patiently wait in heart and mind. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, following peace wherever it leads. Looking for answers in turbulent waters, maybe it's right in front of me. In front of me. Excuse me. So those are both a couple new songs that
This is a demonstration
I've been working
of
on.
Wirecast.
They're probably not finished yet. Yeah, it always takes a little while to figure out, once a song is done, do I even like it? And then do I want to do some more work on it? And so I just kind of sit with them for a while and play them a bit and just kind of feel it out, see what they need, see if they're looking for more or if they're fine the way they are. So on that note
This is a
of songwriting,
demonstration of Wirecast.
I have been doing a few workshops this fall, which have been really fun. I did a youth songwriting workshop in November, and it was super fun. I had 6 or 7 kids, and they're teenagers, and all so talented. This island has an abundance of really talented youth, and so it was fun to sit with them and get to hear some of their what they're working on and inspire them, give them some tools and tricks
This
to
is a
write some
demonstration of
songs.
Wirecast.
And a few of them finish songs after the fact and show them to me, and they're amazing. So it was really inspiring. I learned from another friend that when you teach something like a workshop or anything really, you teach to learn. So as the teacher, I'm teaching from my experience, but I'm also teaching so that I could learn something. And in all these workshops, I learned so much about the creative process, and it's inspiring for me, which is really cool. But it's also so fun to see other people, especially youth, be able to find their voice. And so I'm going to move this so this thing is not in the way. See youth find their voice and just have some tools to be able to express themselves is really cool, and I've become super passionate about it lately. So that's been exciting. And then I also got to do a retreat, a songwriting retreat last month, which was really neat. It was a cool experience. Myself and another musician from Pender, Lester Quitzow. He's a Juno award-winning guitar player, and him and I co-hosted a weekend retreat. And it was a small group. We only had, I think, 5 participants, but it was really inspiring, and everyone worked together really well, and lots of collaboration and jamming and chatting about the creative process and writing and all sorts of things. So that was really cool. And out of that, I actually wrote a song myself, which was really fun. But I'll play that for you. And I realized I forgot to bring my uke up, so I'm going to have to go grab my ukulele. How unprofessional. But before that, okay, so I read this book recently called Big Magic. Maybe some of you have read it. It's by Elizabeth Gilbert. She wrote this book called Eat, Pray, Love a few years ago. That was a big hit. But this book, Big Magic, is all about living the creative life beyond fear and getting past fear. And it was super inspiring. It was an easy read, but it was full of like all these nuggets on living creatively and pushing past fear. So it's just what I needed to hear. And so the one thing that she talked about that I really liked, that I'm just going to share some stuff with you because it's kind of fun, and this is what I'm so passionate about. So maybe you'll glean something for it for whatever creative pursuits you do. But oh yeah, one thing that she said that I really liked, and I've been repeating lots since, is that done is better than good. Let that sink in for a moment. Yeah, which I thought was really cool, because so often I feel like I have to write a good song or something that I do, it has to be good. And so sometimes that means I never get to the point of finishing it, but finishing something is really important, and even more important than necessarily having something good, because maybe you'll just finish it, but then something good will come out of it. And so just getting things done is really, really good. It doesn't have to be perfect. So many people say it takes like 10 bad songs to write a good one. And it's true. It takes a few songs where you just got to get ideas out, and then the gold nugget will come, and that's what you've been waiting for. So that was a good little point. And then another thing she mentioned is called the arrogance of belonging. And there's a quote. I'll just read it because it was really good. Creative entitlement simply means believing that you are allowed to be here, and that merely by being here you are allowed to have a voice and a vision of your own. I thought that was really cool. That we're here, we're alive, we are where we are, so we, because of that, have a voice and a space to say what we need to say, and that's really cool. And yeah. So I've been just kind of mulling on those creative things and sharing them with my workshop students as I do that. And then something that I've been kind of trying to practice, like in my writing, is an exercise called object writing. And it's a kind of just like a writing tool, but basically you take an object and write about it for like 10 minutes. With just kind of a stream of consciousness, but using your senses. So it's like sense-oriented writing. And it's been really cool to kind of get out of the literal way of
This is a
thinking about things,
demonstration of
like the room
Wirecast.
is warm and bright, but then thinking, okay, well, how do I feel? How, what are the sensations that I feel, and all those sensory awareness. So I've done some of these object writing lessons at the past workshops I did, so I thought I'd just read one because it's kind of fun, and it's a neat little descriptive writing thing. And I told you that I would be doing some spoken word and some songs, so you get a little mix of both with this little live stream. We'll never know where these things are going to go. Okay, so this was the word that we used for this exercise. I did this at the retreat. The word was canoe. So this is what I wrote about a canoe. The paddle cuts into the water with a sharp splash, and a water drop lands on my arm. I pull the paddle towards me, my arms feeling the pressure of the ocean against them. Stroke after stroke, like machinery in repetitive motion, we pick up speed. The damp ocean air tastes salty and earthy. When I finally break the repetitive motion and lift my paddle out of the water, I look at my surroundings, a moving painting before me. Pastel hues of sky and water blending together, prehistoric cries of an eagle on the hunt. The machine starts again, the tender palms of my hand getting warm from the grip of the wooden paddle. I can feel the grain of well-worn wood as I grip and pull against the water, moving underneath us like a movie reel, reflecting the narrative of the sky above. Shoulders ache, muscles that haven't been engaged. ... That's all I had for 10 minutes, so there's some descriptive... I haven't tried writing a song out of that yet, but it's just a good... I don't know if I will, but it's a good descriptive exercise. Kind of puts you in the middle of canoeing in the bay. So I'm going to go grab my ukulele. I'll put you on hold for a second, and then I'll play a song that I wrote at the songwriting retreat that kind of came out of that. So be right back.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I'm back. All right, so this is a song that we did a little exercise, a brainstorming exercise, and so I had a topic or a phrase, and then we went around the room and talked about what that kind of meant to us, because it's interesting how one idea can mean so many different things to so many different people. And it's kind of fun to talk about that and see one thing can go in so many different directions. So the topic was the end of the road. And could kind of be...
Is a demonstration of
it could go many different ways. The idea of the end of the road, it could be something that's, sad, like the end of a journey, the end of an adventure, but it could also be maybe something hopeful, like the end of something, but the start of something new. So everyone kind of had a different take on it, and I was inspired by, the idea, and just kind of elaborated on it and started writing a song. So I'll play it for you. And hello to everyone who's tuned in. It's awesome. Hi, Jerome. Welcome from the Netherlands to beautiful Pender Island. And Taco Lover. Who's Taco Lover? Tell me your name. And hi, Matt and Cher and Phoenix. Welcome. Cool. So this is called, The End of the Road.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
When you're at the end of yourself, when all you know it only goes this far, too many questions and answers for secrets guarded by the unknown. You can't find a sanctuary. Be at home in uncertainty. This is only momentary. Soon you'll be a distant memory. When you're at the end of the road, a dead-end highway, far from home, darkened trails through the trees, courage that I never thought I'd need. You can find a sanctuary. Be at home in uncertainty. This is only momentary. Soon you'll be a distant memory. Lighting fades, shadows fall. This won't be the end of you. Trust your heart. You can find a sanctuary. Be at home in uncertainty. This is only momentary. Soon to be a distant memory. So something a little different. It's got a bit of a reggae feel, reggae bluesy feel, which is kind of fun. So I'm excited to work with that one a bit more and see what happens. I'll play a song that I wrote a little while ago, and some of you may have heard it at a live stream or a show, but it's not recorded yet, so it's still pretty new. And I like playing it, so I'll play it for you. And hopefully the volume's good. I can't really check it on here, but
This is a
I'm
demonstration
just
of
going to write a little
Wirecast.
note to everyone. Alright, so this song is called Georgina. And I wrote it, it was kind of inspired by Georgina Point on Main Island, which is a neighboring island to Pender. And it's right on this point where there's the Georgia Strait and kind of
This is a
running perpendicular to it
demonstration
is
of
active
Wirecast.
pass, and so it's right on this point. And most places like where I live, it's very sheltered. I mean, it gets stormy, but it's for the most part it's pretty sheltered. But on this point, the waves are really strong and cutting and eroding the rocks, and there's lots of smooth rocks that have been worn down by the water. So it was a very impactful image, just these waves that were just crashing over the
This
rocks.
is a
And
demonstration of
so it
Wirecast.
sounded, it was good. It was inspiring. And the sound is a bit distorted. Okay, I'm not sure exactly what to do about that. That cut off the sound. But maybe if I bring this down a little bit. Yeah.
This is a demonstration
But yeah,
of
sorry about
Wirecast.
the watermark. It's super annoying. I know. I didn't realize that it was going to do that until right as I was starting the stream. So yay. But all right, I'll just play the song. This is called Georgina. Fragile like seaweed, suspended in flight, tossed by the waves. Georgina, don't you cry. Deep in the water, the garden grows. Don't give up hope, Georgina, don't let go. Don't give up now. Hope is dawning. Darkness turning into morning now. Caught in the current,
Demonstration of Wirecast.
pulled out to sea, not beyond reach. Georgina, find some peace. Don't become hardened, withered by time. There's grace for each day. Georgina, calm your mind. Don't give up now. Hope is dawning.
Wirecast.
Darkness turning into morning. Georgina, has it been easy? The marks on your body are going away. Georgina, tell us your story. I know that your honesty will set you free. Don't give up now. Hope is dawning. Darkness turning into morning light.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Glistening waters around the bend, stillness invites Georgina, it's
is a demonstration of Wirecast.
Cool. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to read you a poem. This is not a poem that I wrote, but I found it recently, and it was just so beautiful, and so I wrote it in my journal, and I figured I'd share it because it was really inspiring. One of my friends posted it on Instagram. So, you know, the digital age has its downsides, but this was a nice little blessing from the Instagram world. So this is called For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue, and it goes like this. In out-of-the-way places of the heart, where your thoughts never think to wander, this beginning has been quietly forming, waiting until you are ready to emerge. For a long time it has watched your desire, feeling the emptiness growing inside you, noticing how you willed yourself on, still unable to leave what you had outgrown. It watched you play with the seduction of safety and the gray promises that sameness whispered, heard the waves of turmoil rise and relent, wondered would you always live like this. Then the delight when your courage kindled, and out you stepped onto new ground, your eyes young again with energy and dream, a path of plenitude opening before you. Though your destination is not yet clear, you can trust the promise of this opening. Unfurl yourself into the grace of beginning that is at one with your life's desire. Awaken your spirit to adventure. Hold nothing back. Learn to find ease in risk. Soon you will be home in a new rhythm, for your soul senses the world that awaits you. So beautiful. So that's For a New Beginning by John O'Donohue, if you want to look it up. Something that's been inspiring me lately. I've been, inspired by the written word and poetry. And so that poem really spoke to me. I've been writing, poems since I was a kid, before I wrote songs. And so I've mentioned this, but I'd like to release a book of poetry at some point. So I'm slowly compiling writings and continuing to write, and so we'll see what that turns into someday. But it's been inspiring just to kind of take a focus more onto just the lyrics and poetry instead of always combining them into music and songs. And so it's sometimes fun to just isolate one of those things and work on it. So I've been doing that a bit. I thought I'd play some old songs just for fun. Two songs that I haven't played in a long time. Well, I played them this afternoon, so I would remember them. But I thought that would be cool. So if you have Stories from Home, which is my first album, you should have it. If you don't, I'll send it to you. But I'm going to play a song from that, and I'm going to look up the lyrics so I don't forget them, because that happens sometimes. Sometimes I just forget what I'm singing. So, okay. This is a song called Stow Me Away.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I'll start here. I floated away to the sea, right to the end of the world. Westerly winds took me up and away. Ships sailed by with their high-flying flags, bound for a faraway land, hoping for winds that would carry them far. Stow me away, I need to escape, I long to I'll make a home under skies with no end. Oh, just for a day or two. I wanna live like a seafaring man, calling the ocean my home. Land or sea, in the end, I'm still alone. Stow me away, I need to escape. I long to be free from here. I'll make a home under skies with no end. Oh, just for a day or two. Stow me away, I need to escape. I long to be free from here. I'll make a home under skies with no end. Oh, just for a day or two. I haven't played that song in a long time, but it was one of my favorites from Stories from Home. And this
is a demonstration
one time I tried
Wirecast.
playing it backwards, like put it through this like backwards machine, and it sounded really trippy, kind of like a Sigur Rós tune. And it actually inspired, listening to that inspired the music for Of Life and of Death from Overland and Sea. So that was kind of a, a random thing. But, okay, next. I am not a fan of dead silence. But doing live streams, it's like, it's just me. So I have to be okay with that. But it's kind of weird talking to myself to a computer screen. But I'm glad that you guys are joining me. It's really nice that there are people tuning in. Okay, so I'm going to play a song from Overland and Sea, and this one is called Like the Mist.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
shows his face. I am tired of living for meaningless pursuits, chasing after the wind. Oh, the world has failed to satisfy. It's left me with nothing to show but this hollow shell. I'm searching for the beauty that you said I'd find in your own time. Will this lonely traveling soul ever find what is looking for? A temporary nature of this earthly home. Can silence a song of eternity. That resonates in our hearts and leads us towards finding the beauty of life and where we belong. What you're looking for, I hope you find. What you're looking for, I hope you find. What you're looking for, I hope
Oh, Kelly, that was Kelly, one of Kelly's favorites from Overland and Sea. Well, there you go. I think that was a few people's
This is
favorites,
a
and it wasn't one that
demonstration
I've
of
played
Wirecast.
lots live, so it's nice to play that one again. So one of the subscribers and friends of mine, Jerry from Montreal, asked me in an email. He was wondering if I could do a duet with any musician artist in the world. Who would I want to do it with? And that's a hard question. I'm glad that he emailed it ahead of time, so I had some time to think.
This is a
And I mean,
demonstration of
maybe
Wirecast.
my answer would change on different days depending on who I'm into and how much I'm listening to someone's work. But when I was young, I listened to a lot of, I really liked piano pop music because I was kind of learning how to, I would listen to songs that I liked, figure them out on the piano, and it kind of helped me figure out how to like write pop music, I guess.
This is a
And
demonstration
so
of
one of the bands
Wirecast.
that I really liked listening to, especially their early stuff, the new stuff is all right, but I'm not super into it. But some of their early albums was Coldplay. There, I was a big fan, and I loved singing along to Chris Martin and his songs. And they were kind of one of my, I guess, early influences. I didn't grow up listening to a lot of like classic music, like, you know, I didn't grow up listening to Joni Mitchell and Bob Dylan and Leonard Cohen and all these great musicians. So I've been
This is a
discovering all
demonstration
their
of
music kind of as
Wirecast.
I've gone along this musical journey. But Coldplay was kind of one of my first. I really was into them. I still love their music. So, and I mean, the number of times that I have daydreamed about being on stage with Chris Martin and singing a song with him, I would have to I would have to choose him because I love Coldplay tunes, and I'm always, you know, I sing them a lot, so it'd be amazing to be up on stage, and I like him as a front
This is
person
a
because
demonstration of
he's kind of
Wirecast.
like, not so much now, but he's kind of a little bit awkward, and I heard once that when Coldplay started out, he was a super awkward, like just didn't really know what to do with himself as a front person, and I feel like I relate to that. I sometimes I feel like when I'm on stage, I just am like, what do I do with my hands, or what do I do? I've gotten better at that, but it's I'm like, I can
This
relate.
is
I
a
could relate to that.
demonstration of
So
Wirecast.
there's your answer, Jerry. I would probably choose Chris Martin. Um, Maybe some people think that's, I don't know, lame or something because there's so many other musicians, but yeah, I had to pick one. So anyways, but I recently got to share the stage with a bunch of my friends, which, I mean, I love doing that, and I love getting to play with people that I know and people that I care about. And so a
This
bunch
is
of
a
friends of mine,
demonstration of
we did a show.
Wirecast.
We've done a couple shows now. We've kind of got a newly formed collective, and we did a show in Victoria. Well, Matt, who's, I don't know if he's still tuning in, he was still here, Whitebird Music, they're in the collective. And so we did a show called the Amazing Grace Concert, and so it's lots of originals from our group, and some, you know, old spirituals and some covers of like worshipy tunes, and just a really
This
like
is a
soul
demonstration of
centered
Wirecast.
yeah, set of music that's just really uplifting, and it was really fun to get to share the stage. There were 9 of us on stage for a couple concerts, and 9 vocalists all playing instruments as well. It was a lot, but it was super fun, and that's been, I mean, lately getting to play with my friends is super fun and collaborate, and it's inspiring, and yeah, so I'm really grateful for that. And so I thought I'd
This
play
is
one
a
of the songs that I
demonstration of
shared
Wirecast.
with at the Amazing Grace concert. And it's not it's a newer song, I guess, but it's not on any of my recordings. So we might do some recording with this group in the future. We'll see what happens. We'd like to get some of these songs recorded and stuff. So I figured I'd play one of these. and share it with you. So this is called Safe Harbor.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
You are a safe harbor in the stormy waters. You are the shelter that I see. You are a strong tower, mighty protector. You are the comfort that I need. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth to find me. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth. You are an oasis, the sweetest thing I've tasted. You are preparing a feast. You're the great redeemer of my past and future. You're walking right beside me. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth to find me. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth. Mountains, valleys, and stormy seas can't stand in the way of your love for me. Even with sorrow surrounding, I know you're right there beside me, beside me. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth to find me. I'll never be too lost for you, never be too far away. You go to the ends of the earth to bring me home again.
This is a
Whitebird singing
demonstration of
along.
Wirecast.
Yay. Well, almost an hour has gone by. Time flies when you're playing songs and having fun. Cool. Well, thanks for tuning in. It's fun it's like a hangout, but I think between those of us who are tuned in right now, we've got North America, Europe, Australia, 3 continents.
This
That's pretty
is a
good.
demonstration of Wirecast.
You guys are awesome. Cool. Well, I hope you're all having a good holiday season. And in September, I started with the what am I trying to say? Singing in the community choir. Pender Island has a community choir that does a fall season and with a Christmas show and then a spring session. And so we've been gearing up for our Christmas show, which is this weekend. We have 3 performances, and it's pretty exciting. It's going to be an awesome show. I don't think it's going to be streamed, but I hear that it's going to be recorded. So I might see if I can get my hands on that and post a little video on Facebook or something. Because we're doing a song that I wrote, which is really exciting. 2 years ago, I wrote a song called A Different Christmas. And it's on YouTube. There's a little video for it, so you can go check it out. But I did a choral arrangement for the song, and we're doing it with the choir, so it's really exciting. It's the first time I've made like a choral arrangement for a song of mine, and it sounds beautiful with all the different parts, and it's like a 70-person choir, which is amazing for our little community here. So it's exciting. So I thought to finish this little live stream off, I should play you that song and another Christmas song, because it is Christmas and I don't have any Christmas lights here, but down in the living room we've got a big tree set up and it's all pretty, and I love Christmas, so I'll send you off with a couple Christmas tunes. But this one I'll play you A Different Christmas, and I wrote it on my first Christmas being on Pender. But this song is kind of for anyone whose Christmas looks different than it usually does, or than it might have in the past. So maybe that's you this Christmas.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
I'll just remember what key it's in.
We're on our own, spending Christmas in a new town. We'll miss the snow and the way it makes the city glow. Christmas Eve, when we're gathered around the tree, I miss the laughter and the pleasure of your company. Though we're far away, the Christmas spirit stays the same. It's a different Christmas this year. We'll be celebrating from far away. I'm gonna miss having you near. We'll have Christmas together again someday. We're on our own, but we'll start some new traditions. I think of you as we hang the decorations. Since the West Coast makes for a rainy Christmas, we'll have a bonfire in the backyard with the neighbors. Though we're far away, the Christmas spirit stays the same. It's a different Christmas this year. We'll be celebrating from far away. I'm gonna miss having you near. We'll have Christmas together again someday. It's a different Christmas this year. We'll be celebrating from far away. I'm gonna miss having you near. We'll have Christmas together again someday. It's a different Christmas this year.
This is a demonstration of Wirecast.
All right. Well, thanks again for tuning in, and if you are watching this after the fact, thanks for watching. Thanks for being part of this musical journey, and for all your support. Next time I do a live stream, I will make sure that there's no flashing Wirecast watermark because that's really annoying. But yeah, I really appreciate all of you guys, and yeah, I'm working on some new music, and I don't know when I'll get into the studio, but I've got hopes and plans, and I'll keep you in the loop. So to send you off, this is a Christmas song that you should have received last year, maybe, I think, or the year before, as a free download. If you didn't get it, send me an email and or comment, and I'll send it to you. This is Christmas Tree.
Christmas tree, oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Not only green when summer's here, but in the coldest time of year. Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging. Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. For every year the Christmas tree brings to us all such joy and glee. Oh Christmas tree, such pleasure do you bring me. Oh Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee. Oh Christmas tree, how richly God has decked thee. Thou bids us true and faithful be, and trust in God unchangeably. Oh Christmas tree, so pleasant has decked thee. Not only green when summer's here, but in the coldest time of year. For every year the Christmas tree brings to us all such joy and glee. Thou bids us true and faithful be, and trust in God unchangeably. Oh Christmas tree, thy leaves are so unchanging.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.